Sunday morning. It's April 14th, 1991, and we're in the backyard of Jim and Pat Pace in Virginia Beach, Virginia, also known as Mom and Dad. We just wanted to show you a couple interesting things that they have growing in their backyard, and also some art pieces that they have collected over the years. The first thing I'd like to show you is this lantern. It's about, we think, from the 1930s, which is from the Frank Lloyd Wright era. It's got a very intricate dog's head at the top of it. It's a unique piece. The next thing I'd like to show you is this weeping white pine. Mom gave this to Dad for one of his birthdays, and I'm not sure which. I believe it was for his 42nd birthday. Down here we have an azalea. It's also known as a Fuji no Asahi azalea. It is not quite in full bloom as of yet. It's known for its pink edges around the blooms, and it usually blooms about the second week of April. The next thing we have over here is English ivy, which has been growing on this wall for quite a few years. We also have this little unique lantern down here that lights up at night. Over here we have Clematis markham. It usually blooms in the second or first week of April. It gets quite full with tiny white flowers all over it. The next thing I wanted to show you is this plant. It's called a lady's bank roses. And that blooms in the second week of April, actually right after the Clematis markham. And it's covering the trellis. And up here, I'd like to show you, these are some symbols that my mom gave my dad on one of their anniversaries, on their 14th anniversary. This one stands for health. This one stands for wealth. This one is happiness. And this one is luck. And finally over here we have jasmine. Jasmine is used to make perfumes. And it stays green all year round. Once again, this is ladybank roses. And this will completely cover the arbor. And over here, we have what we all refer to as the gong, but Mom got this in the Philippines when she was younger. I don't know when she got it, but it's a real neat piece. And over here, I know I pointed out jasmine to you up there, but this has actually got some blooms on it. I'm not sure if you can see that. But it also sends, not only is it used for perfume, but it also sends a real sweet smell at night when you're sitting back here, barbecuing or having drinks, whatever. And these guys are from our trip from Jamaica. And Mr. Hill carved these and dated them. And Dad and Mom brought it back from Jamaica when we went on that great trip back in February. And this is Nandina. It's a form of bamboo. It grows quite rapidly and kind of takes over. This is a piece of granite out of the casemate over in Fort Monroe. Dad and Mom have made it into like a little bench over here in the garden. Down here, growing underneath it, is a variegated ivy. Pretty durable and grows relatively easy. And here we have another wind chime. I can't figure out how to work. There. I believe, did Chris and Michelle give you that? No. You got that from a garden place. This is another wind chime that Chris, my brother, and Michelle gave to Dad for Christmas last year. It's kind of neat. This azalea that I had pointed out to you earlier, I just It's so beautiful. I just wanted to make sure that you got a really nice look at it. Once again, the pink edges are what it's known for, and again, it's called a Fuji no Asahi azalea. This is a weeping cherry tree that was given to my father by me on his 42nd birthday. And it blooms about the first week of April. Down here, I just wanted to point out this little lantern. It's just an old, very old lantern that we light up in the summer at night. It's real pretty. And back here, we have variegated sunspot. Let's see. This is my dad's pride and joy. It's 10 years old. It's a cut leaf Japanese maple. Actually, it's a Japanese cut leaf maple. And it will be dead, or will be dead by the time this thing is full grown. Down here is mugu grass. Mugo grass. Dad got the idea when we were in Jamaica to put it down here like this. And that's a very old lantern that also we light up in the summer months. Back here, with the black berries on it, is a Fascia japonica. And mixed in back here are the Nandina, which is the bamboo trees that we had showed you over there. And in the middle of this strange looking character here, is a Japanese loblolly. And down here are the dwarf holly bushes. And in the middle here you have a Washington hawthorn tree. And the one at the end of the road down here is the same thing, it's just a little more mature. It's the Washington hawthorn tree. Over there, between the rock and the holly, is periwinkle. You can see the little blue flowers. And the holly bushes are actually the dwarf hollies, which we showed you earlier on where the fence was. Here we have a Japanese dogwood. And growing around that is sedum. Next to that we have Japanese bamboo, the big bamboo. And here we have a weeping crab apple. We actually have 1, 2, 3 of those. They're about 5 years old. They bloom in the first week of April. Behind that, the bigger trees back there, is Petinia. Those are about 5 years also. And throughout here, we have this spreading juniper, which is a great ground cover. And this is cypress, which brings us to our fish pond. All of our fish seem to be hiding out, but Mom and Dad put koi in the fish pond. And Dad got all of these slates from the casemate and created a little waterfall in there. Can't seem to get any fish to come out. And then this is another lantern that lights up at night. Japanese lantern with a dragon on top. Over here we have honeysuckle, which that blooms in about last part of May, first part of June. Has a real sweet smell and lots of beautiful white and yellow flowers on it. It's a good syrup in those flowers too. Over here, I just wanted to show some of the things that Dad collects. I think this is actually probably part of that trip we went on to North Carolina where Mom and I held this. This is very small, by the way, because it was about the size of the house, and we dragged it back on the in the Jeep from Betsy's, and we all have still sand pelts in our eyes from having to carry it back. But Dad made some tables and stuff with it, which I'll show you later. And the Japanese fish, I believe that's a poi, also, which has a candle in it. And he's real big on rocks, as you can tell. He likes to collect rocks. And this is probably one of my favorite in the collection is Bacchus. Bacchus is, Dad's had him for a long time, and he's the goddess of wine, I believe. So, and down here is more of those azaleas. This is a Japanese bonsai, which it looks like Daddy's trying to kill. It's about 10 years old. These are very, very slow growing, obviously. But hopefully Dad can get this one nursed back to health. And remember me talking about the driftwood that we brought back. Here's one of the larger pieces of it underneath here that he's using for the base of his table. Of course, this slate is from the casemate in Fort Monroe. This is what we all call Mussolini Falano, or whatever his name is. We think he looks Italian. Dad swears he's Japanese. He thinks he's a Japanese warrior, but we all disagree. But anyways, he's been around for a while, and just another one of those things Dad collects. The stone pointing towards the garden is at the base of the Japanese cutleaf maple. The difference between this one and the one earlier that we showed you is this one stays green year-round. This is about 7 years old. So, once again, you can tell it takes a long time for them to grow. This is an alabaster ashtray, which Mom and Dad picked up in Jamaica for nearly nothing. I mean, it was like $2. It should have been like $50 American dollars. It's sitting on another piece of granite from the casemate in Fort Monroe. And then Dad has built this Japanese-style base to it. And this is where we have all of our fun and all of our drinks in the summer months, and we have a blast out here because when it's sunny and nice, or at night when it's nice and warm, it's just a beautiful place to have drinks and dinner, or just to sit out here and talk. So we hope you enjoyed our little visit through Mom and Dad's backyard.